So when we last left off, hello everyone, welcome to Riffs. So when we last left off, the group managed to get their bloody vengeance on uh the witch, the witchling, so to speak. But now they're standing around the burned rubble of an old hermit's cabin. Their ATV is down with has a flat tire, and they have now since removed the head of the witchling for an ulterior motive. So with that, I guess the first thing is I understand from what I remember correctly, the end of last session you guys wanted to move to some sort of shelter in the area to plan and to rest for a little bit, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So before you move anywhere, what are you going to do with your ATV? The back right tire is flat.
That's bad.
That is bad.
We don't have
Yeah.
a spare.
Tell you what. Tell you what. Let's do a roll because you would think there would be spare tires, right? So let's do a common sense roll and say 1 to 80, you do have one spare tire and you're using it right now. And between 81 and 100 is, yeah, I got it, but when we're moving all that stuff, I forgot to put it back in. Does that seem fair?
Seems fair to me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Who's rolling?
So this, I'll roll.
Oh, okay.
God will roll. Rift's God, I'm not actual
Our
God.
fiery Canadian god.
By
Yes.
the way, God, you didn't really answer my prayer the other week of that sports team that I was.
Yeah, I don't follow football.
Damn it.
You got 19. So yes, you do have a spare that you can change. So that deals with that problem. I will have to say now you've used up the good grace spare, so you will actively have to replace it
Got it.
or fix your
A
entire.
question we should also discuss while we're here and while it's still relatively in this condition. Do we want to hunt down that last goat?
Oh, that thing?
Let's see. He would be really far away. I am only slightly interested, but I don't think I'm on a hunt down murder
Yeah,
spree
my-
for such
no,
a thing.
My
Yeah.
only concern would be, do we think he would be a danger to others? And I'm.
He was kind of a pussy. Like, I don't
yeah.
want to be, like, mean, but he wasn't that threatening.
I'm kind of with you on that. I just figured I
Well-
should bring it up.
The door, though. He made a huge gash in the door with that sword,
That's true. He
Well,
did.
which
Oh,
he
yeah,
ended up
Patrick
taking
said-
with him, right?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, it's his sword. Patrick, actually, I'll tell you exactly what it is because now you can kind of get your mind. You know, you're coming down from the battle. You're able to recollect. Give me a monster, demon, and monster lore check, please, and tell me
Right.
what you pass by.
Got it? By quite a
Okay, you
bit.
got by quite a bit. Okay, so now I just have to call it up in my source book because that's
It was a
important. So I
goat.
want to give you. No, it wasn't a goat. It was. It could
This
shapeshift
whole thing
into
was
a goat.
That
Mhm.
whole
Are
thing
you
was pretty
telling
funny,
me?
though, with the goat.
That goats can shapeshift.
Careful. All right. No, it was a type of fairy, actually.
Oh.
And no, not that kind of fairy. It was. Oh no, no. Oh, here we go. I'm getting there. It was called a puck. 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 So, yeah, it's a puck, and this you can communicate this as what you want. Pucks are black-hearted fiends resembling satyrs, except that the upper body is more demonic than human, and their complexion is a dirty gray. Their pranks are destructive and brutal, being responsible for the senseless slaughter of livestock and pets, setting fires, vandalism, and sometimes the kidnapping of children and young maidens. Pucks, you know, pretty much you're just like, oh yeah, I remember all this. Pucks enjoy the torture of others as well as a multitude of sadistic depravities. They are also fair thieves, hoarding gold and silver.
It is Tinkerbell. I knew it.
Really?
You don't know Tinkerbell, obviously.
No.
She has kidnapped those children and
I'm
is
not sure
pouring
who
quite a
Scoo was
bit.
talking to in that in that instance. So basically, they're little shits. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like eager to chase after it right now because I feel like we got our main target, and
Here's a question. Do we think that it is far enough away from civilization it won't cause too much harm?
No, it is going north, so that's going towards our camp.
It was going south. No,
South?
you're right. It was going. No. You're right. It's going north.
We might want to just have people keep an ear out for it, maybe.
oh yeah, we could radio them.
Eh?
And just let them know to keep an eye out for little goat. If they see a goat, kill it. just just kill any ghost you
If you
see
a
like
stray
approaching.
goat.
Okay, like Al's wrestling with his conscience here. Like he's had enough for now. But if they don't take care of this, it could maybe find a farm or something. It doesn't have the witchling to corral it anymore.
How exactly? How much time does he have ahead of us right now? Because he's probably got a bit of time if we're changing the tire on the ATV.
Yeah, we got a lot of time.
All right,
on
then.
this.
Yeah.
Tom
good.
is going.
Unless-
That puts my conscience more at ease.
If,
Okay.
The only thing that we could do is maybe have Power Armor go after it, but that would just be one character against that, and
Right.
I don't feel very comfortable with that.
No. That
Yeah.
I'm feeling much better about.
Well, I mean, I could take it. I mean, like, I'm kind of awesome, but.
We don't.
Sorry, that's
doesn't
Kriana
have a-
talking. That's Kriana. I'm not speaking in character,
Oh,
just so
okay.
we all know. This
Yeah.
is Kriana talking.
I was gonna say
I
we
should
don't doubt it,
specify.
but if it's not in character, I'm gonna say, oh.
Out of character, I'm not comfortable with breaking the cardinal rule
Yeah,
Of splitting up, yeah.
Yeah.
of splitting the party.
Yeah.
You never do
no.
that.
rarely goes good.
No, simply you had me at. It's had quite a bit of lead on us. We probably wouldn't
Yeah.
find it anyway. So yeah, let's
Yeah,
just.
especially the time it took for
Okay.
us to actually catch the witchling. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like she had butter on her or something.
So you're able to change the tire,
Mhm.
and you look for some sort of shelter. It takes a couple hours in the area because this is a relatively heavily wooded area. You follow the river a little bit.
May I note something?
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to gather up the discharged grenades.
Oh yes, of course. Okay. So they can be recharged.
Mhm.
Okay, great. If you forget something retroactively, don't worry. I'm not a dick DM who's like, well, you didn't explicitly say it. I go with the rule of common sense for the most part. Anyways, but you spend a couple hours just looking for something secure and sheltered, and sure enough, you come across. Patrick, give me archaeology check, please.
Made it.
You believe that it's an old mine shaft, or at least the entrance to an old mine. Now, of course, the mine is kind of digging down into the ground, and it only goes about 50 feet or so before it's crumpled through, but there are no denizens within it, and it is really out of the way and relatively hard to find. So it might suit your purposes if you feel it does. I won't say you absolutely have to stay there, but
I think that would suit our purposes quite well.
okay. So now, I understand there's a little bit of planning you want to do because you still have the witchling's
Yes.
putrid head, which Alicia keeps eyeing. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, obviously, we're gonna act like we're setting up camp and all that
Yeah.
stuff. How close is it to nighttime?
Not too close actually. It's probably only close to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But you can break bread, have some dinner, wait for night to fall before you do anything.
I think it would be best for us to actually, spend the night or most of the night. Yes.
Excellent. All right.
Assuming the party agrees.
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
Go, Patrick.
I'm going to be just sitting there and just kind of in each hand we'll have a bracelet and just kind of examining them. Nothing really else.
Yes. Okay, give me a lore magic check there, Patrick.
I'm not quite sure this is gonna go well. No.
No? Okay, what'd you get? An 80. All right. You're not able to glean anything new just yet from it. You're not too sure. You keep, maybe saying some words similar to like the moon words to activate the darn thing, but nothing. It doesn't seem to have an auditory response. And now I have a little something else to add in here. It's going to be while you're staying there for the night, but I think you guys are focused on something right now. So, do you want to make preparations for whatever the heck plan that you have going on, or?
Well, it's not a lot of preparations that need to be done until the last minute kind of thing.
Okay, then I'm going to just go ahead and do this. Everyone give me a D20 roll, please.
Alright.
We're going to play Price is Right. The person who gets closest to the number in my head
Yeah.
gets to
Aw.
decide. Well,
You
if it
could
was
be
$1,
number one.
$1, Bob, $1.
$1. I took the
Alright,
one from Tom's
Patrick.
20.
Oh, you already rolled a D20, didn't you, Patrick? You got 16?
Yep.
Oh.
Okay, the magic number was 17, so it looks like Patrick got it.
Patrick.
So, Patrick, while you guys are getting set up, you find something scrawled into the mud of the mine wall. Actually, at first it just seemed to be a rather random pattern, but sure enough, it is. And I actually made something. I have a prop. I have a handout. Oh my God! Show to players.
Gasp.
Let me know if you guys see it.
Let's zoom out and see if
It
there's
should be
anything
called
going
Mysterious Note.
I don't see anything.
Okay, just a second.
Oh.
I had to fiddle around with
Can
that,
be no in players' journals. All players save changes. Okay, so now so if you go to
No, actually, after all can see it, you should just have to click on the button that says "Show to all players."
oh
Show to
okay,
players.
give me
Yeah.
a second then.
Oh, no, that's a house. I'm dumb.
Yeah,
that's
there we
alright.
go.
Here we go.
There we go. All right, so you come across that.
Oh.
And it is clearly a language, and Patrick, you can identify it as Draconic or Dragonese. Oddly enough, it's also known as Elven, and other mystical races use it, but since dragons are the most powerful, they got to have the language named after them. So, give me a literacy check on your Draconic to see how
Oh,
well
okay.
you do this translation.
I hope I get this, because if I seriously don't, I'm going to be so upset.
No, you can. No,
Okay,
no,
good.
you get it. No, hey, listen. First of all, if you didn't get this, it just means it would have you know how to read the damn language. It's just certain
Right.
vocabulary. It would have just taken you the night to translate it. That's all.
I would have just been really upset if I failed an 89%.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
Oh,
at least
well.
it's not as bad as burn.
Yeah, at least you're not back.
Don't bring that up.
Hey, it's to make Piff feel better. You lose.
So sure
no, I'm
enough-
kidding. I'm kidding.
What?
Before we do the translation as well, actually, just underneath of it is just this. Oh God! All right, edit.
I know that symbol. That's a
Oh,
person
player.
with a ball.
No.
Oh.
So there is also underneath the drawing, as you're able to identify it a little bit more. You see another drawing. You see a drawing nearby to that writing, which is that.
Hmm.
So,
Which is-
now interesting.
Well, I don't see anything.
Uh,
Oh, there
oh,
we
there
go.
it is.
Whoa, whoa,
Alright.
whoa. Hi there.
Oh. What?
Bermuda Triangle.
That was-
So, now, Patrick, are you going to read this aloud to people, or are you just going to read it yourself, quietly to yourself?
I would rather not read it aloud, mainly because I don't know if it's going to activate something.
Okay, so I'll show it to you first, and when you think it's safe, I'll show it to everyone to say that you translated it. Okay?
Okay.
So here, Patrick, is the translation. So, how's everyone else doing while Piff is translating? While Piff is reading this, I'm going to just let you know I've taken a lot of your feedback and I've decided that unless it's a special vendor or special circumstances, I think I'm going to do all shopping out of the session. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like throughout the week, like I'd give you like I don't know, like a document or something like that, being like, this is everything the store has. You choose to purchase it. You know what I mean? And then come at me at the beginning of the session to let me know what you got, right?
Yeah.
I think that'll speed things along quite a bit. Once again, I might have special vendors like that traveling guy where there's an opportunity to role play and purchase that I'll do. But for general shopping of general goods, I think I'm going to do it that way. I think that'll speed things along quite a bit.
All right, I feel that it is. I should say this to everyone.
Okay. So I am going to show this to everybody now. And feel free for someone to read it. I guess it'd be appropriate if Patrick read it aloud, though.
All right. I have a very literate person in game. Just keep that in mind.
If you're not comfortable, I can read it too.
All right. I will try as role play.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's Sarah. Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah.
Sarah. If you come this far, you can go a little further. I think the best access to the underground temple is through the mine shaft like this one. However, I was slightly off the mark and I managed to do some recalculations. Follow my impromptu map. Remember, 5 likes 8 and 10 hates 4.
Oh my god, it's a fucking puzzle.
Except Inferno is a benevolent DM, and
Oh.
I hate it when you make, oh no, there's a plethora of skills in Rifts, and I want you guys to use those skills as your characters to solve the puzzle, not you as the people, as the players, be the deciders of the puzzles. Because, you know what I mean? Because one, you can spend an hour and a fucking half trying to figure out what this puzzle is, and no one has goddamn fun with it. Or it can be an interesting little bit of flavor, and you guys can crack the code with skill checks and with proper questions and role playing. Does that sound a little bit more appealing?
That
yeah.
I like.
That is what we shall do. So, let's see here. So I'm going to start you off with a bit of a hint. Piff. Okay. If it says something like 10 hates 4 and 5 likes 8, those are obviously numbers, and there's some sort of weird number relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, for those of you who have the skill, I think mathematics is the best way to figure this out.
I
Okay.
have mathematics.
Okay.
I'll let you
I have
guys
it as well.
fiddle this.
I have
I'm just gonna
basic
climb
math.
a tree.
We're in a
Ooh.
mine shaft.
I'm gonna just climb some rocks.
All right. This won't take very long. So go ahead and give me some math checks, and I'll get the ball rolling for you guys.
Boom.
Oh my God, Patrick!
Ooh, ouch.
Patrick
Okay.
makes math
Yeah,
good.
Patrick does make math good. All right,
I got
Patrick.
8%. Oh my God.
Okay, that's phenomenal. So first things first, then. The relationship is, I'm not going to go into details of it because I'm not a mathematician, but it has to do with a fractal difference between 5 and 8 and 10 and 4, pretty much. It's a minute difference, but you're able, if you go back up to the mysterious drawing here, it's going to tell you two things. One, with those arrows and those divisibles, the answer to that, using the substitute 5 and 10, is a distance marker. Okay?
Mhm.
You also determined that those circles there, the outer circles, are actually divisible by 10, and the inner circles are divisible by 5. Once again, using that little hint in the note, you're able to figure out that those circles are used as distance indicators to go from the outside going in. So it's a part of the solution to the map. Now, the only thing you're not too sure about yet is what the hell LU stands for. Because, what the hell LU stands for, and what the hell this is actually representing. You know what I mean? So, I'll leave you to chew about it. Clearly, too, if you want to, you can take pictures of this with your camera. You can make a sketch drawing of this as well. And we can continue on while you chew on this idea. Or you guys can choose to suggest some more skills. We do a few more skill checks and see if you make any progress. But the good news is, as far as the mathematics check got you, you realize you have some sort of distance, but you don't know in what, like if it's kilometers, miles, or something else. And you know that the circles also represent distance as well between each other.
Okay.
Well, I think one thing to decide too would be, since obviously it's clear that if we were to look for this hidden temple, we're probably in the best spot to do it. So, do we look for it now, or do we come back later? And
Yeah.
personally, okay, as a gamer or as a player, I'd rather come back later because we have plans. But as a character, I'm not so sure Al would be, super.
We have a severed head. Just to
true.
remind you,
Yeah,
it's kind of just sitting there.
We have a severed head. We have all of these plans.
Yeah.
Tom would like to not become a coalition lackey. So
So maybe come back
Yeah.
later. I think
Okay,
Al's just
saving
a little hesitant, like he knows what's gonna possibly transpire, and he's not exactly thrilled to run to meet it. But it is the smartest option, I think.
Well, that's a good thing about taking notes yourself and taking pictures is that you can chew on this for a while you're taking care of other stuff during your downtime. So, just thought I'd make that little discovery known. Groovy?
Groovy.
Okay.
Groovy, baby.
plus, if we go back to the town, we could maybe find somebody among the storytellers that knows what LU stands for.
Oh,
As
we
a
asked
distance
the
of
cat
measurement.
guy.
Perhaps.
I don't know why he would know, but he's a cat.
I don't know. He's a
Just
cat.
an excuse to talk with them.
Wow.
They stand for lick under, as in lick under your belly.
He's like, yes, look under. No, he would just be like, why are you talking to me again? Poor guy.
Possibly. Okay. So, all right. So, the night passes. It is uneventful as far as things trying to hurt you goes.
All right. Then early in the morning,
Uh-huh.
I would, and I guess, are we assuming Alicia's caught up, or should we explain this stuff to her? Because she has been eyeing the witch head, so I'm assuming we haven't explained everything to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think
right.
that's a fair explanation.
Then I think this is a time to at least explain the basics. So I would give everyone up, and we're gonna say the deepest of the night, say 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning,
Okay.
something like that. I'm gonna get everyone up, and I'm gonna be like, so Alicia, you know that we have a problem with the coalition agent.
Yeah.
Well,
I know.
we are going to try and fix this problem, and it starts tonight. You may be wondering why we're carrying the witch's head around, and this is part of that reason. We need to throw the agent off his game without simultaneously making him expect or suspect that we're trying to throw him off his game. And I think the best way to do that at the moment is to make him think that one of his own people is operating in his backyard without his knowledge. So, we're going to fake Tom's death.
Alicia rubs her eyes and she says, okay. It might just be the sleep talking, but Tom looks nothing like this witchling.
No, she doesn't. But if Tom had a laser bolt go through his face, he would look much like this witchling's about to. And then I start putting Tom's body armor helmet over the witchling's head.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, before
okay.
I do
So you
that-
need a mess.
Before I do that, I'm
Okay.
sorry. Before I do that, I'm going to take out Tom's blood that we drew earlier from the lab.
Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
going to pour that on the inside of the helmet first. And I'm going to be like, Tom, I'm sorry. I know you like this helmet.
It's fine.
Uh,
It didn't match the rest of my armor.
Alicia pauses for a moment. She says, hypothetically, what did Tom get shot in the face with? She says, eyeing her energy rifle.
Trying to think what would leave the most blood.
It
She's
would
like-
have to be a laser
It would, yeah.
because I'm immune to plasma.
Ah, damn. Well, there goes my fun, I suppose. I guess I can't be too greedy. Alicia, by the way, seems to be in much better spirits, and she slept like a baby until you woke her up. So,
Alicia, how good a shot are you?
I'd say I'd rival you, Al.
So, do you think at, I don't know, 5 feet, you could make it look like a sniper hit Burn right in the face?
She says, I'm good at pointing and clicking, not really about making things look like anything. Maybe that is your purview.
Well, I thought I'd offer. So, here's the plan, and here's how we're going to have to play this. We have to assume that even now, we're being watched. Because it's what I would do. And that's why we're in this mine shaft, because even if we're being watched, the chances that they can actually see us in here are pretty slim. But they're probably watching us from the outside, or at the very least I'd like to assume they are, meaning that we have to do this away from their eyes. We are going to pretend that a coalition hitman, a multiple unit, it really doesn't matter, took down Tom, and we ran for our lives. We're only able to basically salvage Tom's helmet, which is going to be a big bloody mess to hopefully leave no doubt that Tom is dead. The idea will then be to go back to town, to inform our problem that he either reneged on his deal, which obviously he didn't, or there's a coalition hit team operating in his backyard without his knowledge, and that we need to talk about it. Which, if there is a hit squad operating in his area, here's the thing. Right now, we're assets. The way he looks at us, the way any trained agent would look at us, we're assets. And when it comes to an asset, you've got to give and take a little bit. I am only useful to him so long as he feels that he has control over me. The second something happens that makes me willing to risk whatever his punishment is, like the death of my close friend, he knows that he either has to cut his losses with me or try to rein me in and try to console me and even try and work with me if he doesn't want to lose me as an asset. Hopefully, this will make him think that there is someone operating in his backyard beyond his control, and that he can still control me if he helps me or works with me. Is everyone following?
Alicia nods.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Patrick, well, in
Oh,
like
yeah.
sort of like a sketchbook, just kind of like waves his hand.
So the idea is we're going to have Tom hide here. Tom, you'll have your radio with you. We'll try and contact you from the Behemoth in okay, actually I'd have to ask this because I'm sure I would have some knowledge of it as an agent, but I don't as a player. Is there a way for us to use the radio to call him without it being intercepted, or is this something that is commonly intercepted?
Now this is interesting. There is a specific skill called cryptology, which allows you to encrypt signals like that. I don't think you have it though.
That's
So we'll just say you didn't focus on that in your training. You focused on the medicine, but you could try to figure something out.
well,
you
no,
can do
that's-
your best at it.
That's very simple. We could just come up with simple code words and nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
Burn.
you don't need any training for that.
Right. We could say Burn. If you hear over your radio, the canary has flown. It means it's okay for you to come back.
Okay.
Something like that. But basically, Tom is going to stay here in the shaft. We are going to shoot the helmet with the witchling's head in it to make it look like a head was inside when it got shot. Hopefully, between the gore that leaves behind and the blood that Tom has graciously donated, any close inspection would reveal that this is Tom's blood and helmet.
Mhm.
We are going to set off some sort of fancy boom to make it look like Tom's body was buried in a rubble or whatever, destroyed, otherwise unattainable, and then we are going to run like mad out of this mine shaft like we're running for our lives, and we are going to gun it for the back to the town like we're gunning it for our lives.